Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me for sprints today. It is day one of the Heart Breathings Writing Community Virtual Retreat. We are in London. Jen got us off to an amazing start. I'm going to carry us through until about 1, and then Angela's going to pick up. Yes, I forgot to hit my mute button. Sorry about that. So we are going to keep a tight schedule. We're going to do 20 minutes for today. We're going to keep the breaks at 5 minutes because I want to make sure we have time for a decent break between my sprints and Angela's, because by the time Angela's up, some of us will have been here for 4 hours. So let's jump over to the comments and see what's going on over there. I posted the times for everybody who's coming up after me today. Their links are in the description box, so you can either access them from the Heart Breathing calendar or just right here in my description box. I will post a link to Angela's when we get closer to the end of mine. And now let's see, here's Inca. Hello, hello. Inca is sprinting at, what is it, 5 a.m. Eastern tomorrow and Sunday. She's taking the early one for the team, and we love her for it. Rach, hello, how are you? And Sarah's here. Sarah's up today at 3. Wait, I can see. Yep, 3 p.m. Jen, speaking of Jen got us started. She was amazing. MDB, how are you? Good morning, good morning. Sung to the tune of the Beatles. Thank you so much for that earworm. It's going to be in my head all day. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Esca, how are you? Have I seen you here before? I don't think I've seen you in my sprints, but if it's your first time, welcome, welcome. We are so glad to have you. If it's not your first time, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Mel in lurk mode, getting words. Awesome. Jackie, hello. Jackie says, we'll miss the beginning because I'm heading to the coffee shop nearby, hoping that a change of scenery helps me focus. You know, it helps me a lot when I do that. So I wish you all the focus at the coffee shop. Let's see. Lottie's here. Good afternoon. Hoping to get some sprints in between dinner and driving my girl to camp. Awesome. Hafrun, hello. What are you working on today? Hey, Rita. What are you up to today? And Mel says, I've gotten 745 words so far today, but I need a break. Take a break. We will be here when you get back. Melanie, hello. Getting back into revisions mode today after a long break. Need to reread some chapters and see what scenes need reorganizing. That's a good plan. Good luck. And thank you. It's my first time in your sprints, but a long time sprinter with the Hardys. I knew I'd seen your name. I just didn't think I'd seen it here. So glad to have you here. And Laura, hello. Have I seen you here before? I think I've seen you in other sprints, but if I haven't, if I've seen you in mine, I think it's been a while. Anyway, Laura says, hi everyone. Allowing myself the freedom to dream and scheme this morning, brainstorming, visualizing, playing. That is an amazing plan, and I hope you enjoy the heck out of it. Let's see. Sarah says, I'm going to be here for the first hour and then I'm headed to the grocery store. Awesome. All right, y'all. We are going to go ahead and jump into the first sprint. 20-minute sprint. So I will see you on the other side of that. Happy sprinting and all the words you're writing. Y'all, I just realized I was muted. I'm so sorry. I am just not having the best day. So I was just saying that I spent that sprint watching Becca Syme interview Claire Taylor about how she quit social media, and it is so interesting. I've been thinking about stepping back from things like Facebook and Instagram for a while. So I don't know, just very interesting. Let's jump over to the comments. Let's see what's going on. Rita says, I'm journaling and writing out affirmations for the first couple of sprints. Awesome. Yeah, I was. I figured it out though. Lottie says, writing and having a London vlog in the background. Ooh, nice. And of course, now a cat coming to take my keyboard. That's just how cats are, right? And Neolina says, off. I got scared. Oh, sorry. All right. So, what's everybody going to work on during the next sprint? I am going to keep watching the Becca Syme video. I am going to take a cough drop because I have a little bit of a sore throat. I bet y'all can hear it. Yeah, allergy season, not my favorite. So, that is what I am going to do. Y'all are quiet. We might go ahead and just jump into the next sprint just to keep things going. Let's see. Laura, oops, wait, everything just jumped on me. Laura says, finished making a mini brand book for one pen name and now moving on to the other. Awesome. Nikki says, not sure how many I got that time, but I have 627 left to reach my daily goal. That's amazing. Lottie says, I'm continuing my story and rushing to get as much done as I can before I'm distracted again. And it's 17. So wait, that is 5:25 p.m. for those of us not using the 24-hour clock. I had to think for a second. Yeah, I'm in Central Time Zone, so it's 10:25 in the morning where I am. All right, y'all. So I think that, let's see. Oh, Neolina says, I am at 57 words on 14,000. This will be hard. You got this. And you know what? 57 words is 57 more than you had before you started. So they all count. And Lottie says, European. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I am not feeling my best today. It's this pollen is just like inside me everywhere. Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the next sprint? Norway. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we just go ahead and jump into the next sprint, y'all, since we're all a little quiet. And Lottie has some more. Let's see. Germany, up north, so cold. Yeah. All right. So we'll just go ahead and jump into the next sprint. And I will see y'all in 20 minutes. Okay, everyone, that was our second sprint. I am still watching the Becca Syme video with Claire Taylor. It's very interesting. Highly recommend if you have any questions about whether or not you belong on social media. And let's see. Jessie, hello, hops in and gets working. Huggers peeps. What are you working on today? And Jackie says, finally settled in at the cafe. Yay, enjoy. And Lottie says, there's a cat on my desk, one hand distracting and one hand writing and keeping feet away. Yeah, cats and keyboards. Let's see. Rita says, fed the cats on the deck due to the ice and some snow, dumped the frozen water dish, stepped into the house and slipped on the ice chunk on my shoe. Oh no, now sitting on the couch with a couple of the cats. Are you okay? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? Yeah, and Lottie says, ouch. Yeah, let us know if you're okay. Okay, y'all. So just a reminder, we have Angela coming up at 1, Sarah D at 3, Jody Jean at 5, Jenna at 7, and Rhiannon at 9. All the links for their streams are in my description box, but you can also find them on the Heart Breathings calendar too. Let me scroll back down here. I lost my place. Eska says 746 words. So amazing. Now I have to do some homework like cleaning and vacuuming. Oh my gosh, 746 words is amazing. That's amazing. All right, Inka, working on feedback from my editor and formatting at the same time. Fun times. I actually don't mind formatting. It kind of is sort of just relaxing for me. Hey, Rana, how are you? What are you working on today? And Rita says, all things considered, just a little sore and shaky. Yeah, well, be careful with yourself today. Be gentle with yourself. You're welcome, Eska. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Jessie says, taking a break from Silver Ridge and working on the first chapter of Night Vale. I'm so excited to hear that. I cannot wait to read this book. Inka says, oh no, hope you're okay soon, Rita. And Rana says hi to Inka. Inka says hi to Rana. Rana says, I am working and planning today. Awesome. Nikki says, I'm chipping away one word at a time. One word at a time is the way to go, Like I said earlier, one word is one more word than you had earlier or before. And so they add up, right? We all know this. Okay, writing Nihalina says 60-ish more words, 60 more than you had before. Yeah, I cannot wait for this. It's like urban romantasy, right, Jessie? Which the urban fantasy and romantasy are two of my favorite things to write and read. So I'm so excited about this. All right, y'all, we've got a little less than 2 minutes left. What are you going to do in the next sprint? I am going to finish watching the Becca Syme and Claire Taylor video. And then, I don't know, I might tidy up my desk. I don't think I will be writing today. I am not feeling great. So I think that I am going to use Angie's sprints to tidy up my desk and then maybe make it an early day. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. Jessie says, Yush, I'm nervous sighted, but so happy to finally be writing on the first draft. Nervous sighted is like where I live my whole life. That's like my baseline. So I feel that. Super exciting. I cannot wait. So yeah, that's my plan for the rest of the day. Yeah, I don't know. I will put Angela's sprint link in probably this sprint or the next. No, wait, this is only going to be our third sprint. So I will wait and put Angela's sprint link to Angela's sprints in the fourth sprint, and then you guys can just portal hop on over there. So we have about 30 seconds left in the sprint. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer for the next sprint. No reason just sitting here staring at me, right? Oh, wait, Jessie says taking an early day night is so nice. Yeah, it really is. And I need it. I don't think my voice is going to last the rest of the day, to be honest with y'all. Okay, we're going to jump into the next sprint. I will see you in 30 minutes. 20 minutes. Yeah, numbers are hard. All right, y'all. See you in a few. Okay, y'all, that was our third sprint. How did y'all do? I finished watching the Becca Thyme, Claire Taylor interview. I went ahead and put the link here for y'all if anyone's interested in watching it. And then I made a couple of to-do lists for things that I am not going to do today that I am going to do tomorrow. Let's see. Gabriella came in. Hello, hello. What are you working on today? Nikki said to Jesse, I listened to your new song earlier. Love it. I need to listen to that. I saw the link on Substack and I did not listen. So I'm going to go listen to that in the next sprint. Let's see. Gabriella says, hi, I'm going to be switching over to my laptop in a moment. So happy to be sprinting today. And we are so happy you are sprinting with us. She also says, hi to Rana. And Jesse says, oh, yay, thank you so much to Nikki. That means a lot. And Jackie says, I started working on Substack stuff, which wasn't my intention, but it's so fun. It really is so fun. I'm loving Substack. It's making me kind of lean more into my idea of quitting social media. I've been thinking about it for a while. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just not ready to do it just yet. Let's see. Lottie says, thank you. I have to go off now to do momming, and then I hope I can write some more later, especially since I have Mr. Brownies as company with me while I write, assuming Mr. Brownies is one of the cats. Thanks for hanging out with us, Lottie, and have a great day. We'll see you next time. Rana says hi to Gabriella. MDB says, sifting through my photo albums for book signing stuff still. Tedious, fiddly work. Yeah, but a book signing sounds fun. Is it one that you did? Is this for one that's coming up in the future, or are these pictures from one that you've done in the past? And how did it go if you did one in the past? See, Jesse says, ooh, listen to 2 of CRONES podcast today. Loved it. Yay. So for those of you who don't know, Nicole and I, who are 2 of CRONES, we started a podcast on Substack, and the first episode dropped yesterday, and it's all about social media and how you're doing it wrong, but so are we. So would love it if you guys wanted to take a listen to that if you're on Substack. I will drop a link for the 2 of CRONES Substack in the next chat or in the next sprint. I'm so glad you listened, Jesse. Jackie says, I'm honestly only on Substack and Discord, and it's been life-changing. Yeah, I keep hearing that, I don't consider YouTube social media, so I won't be stepping away from YouTube. And Discord's not social media at all. And Substack's just amazing. And it has that little bit of a social aspect that kind of, will fill the void, I think, for me. Jackie's Substack is great, by the way. If you're on Substack, you should be following Jackie or subscribing to Jackie. Let's see. Hoffren says, Substack is a rabbit hole for me. Yeah, it can be that way. And Neolina says, I got a bit more than 100 words in. I think I'm finally leaving the block I've had since the start of the month. That is fantastic. Lottie says, snacks, gluten-free dry brownies. Oh, well, because the mister, it made me think it was one of your pets. I don't know. Anyway, I was wrong. Yeah, so many good points. Yeah. If you're talking about the 2 of CRONES, the CRONES cast, we've been just really paying attention to what's happening on Instagram a lot, and it's not good. So anyway, Nikki says, I think this next sprint will be my last one for the day. Got to go do mom stuff. Thanks, Sarah. You're welcome, and thanks for hanging out with us, Nikki. Rana says 195 words. That's awesome. Hold on, jumping around. Gabriella says, that sounds like a fun podcast. It is. Nicole and I are constantly getting into shenanigans, and we are bringing you along for the ride now. Jackie says, yes, absolutely. You're welcome. MDB says, there have been several since 2022, also speaking events. Agent Chad wants photos to add to the press kit, and they're all mixed in with memes and stuff. Yeah, we should all be doing folders for images on our phones and stuff, but I just never do. Lottie says, could have well been a cat. My cats have strange names. Jackie, I have never been an Instagram fan. Oh, really? I used to love it. Gabriella, I'm going to be planning Q2. Awesome. And Lottie says, maybe call one of the cats in the book Mr. Brownie. There you go. All right, y'all, we are jumping into our last sprint. I will put a link for Angela's sprints and a link for the Two of Crones podcast in once we get started. See you in 20 minutes. All right, y'all, that was our last sprint. How did you do? I tidied up my desk a little bit and then went and talked to my husband. So not very productive, but fun. Let me see. Where did we leave off? I shared the link for Angela's sprints up at Next, and it's also in my description box if you don't want to scroll back and look for it. Here's the link for the CRONES Cast podcast. And Jessie said, my aunt used to have a cat named Damatothel just so she could just so she could stand at a door and yell. Yeah, that's funny. Gabriella thought that was funny too. I shared the link from my Substack also if you like Norse mythology and romantasy, if you might want to check it out. Melanie says, I need to go run a quick errand. We'll be back for Angela's sprint. Thanks so much. Glad you were able to join us today, Melanie. Gabriella asked for the link of the interview I was watching before. It was with Becca Simon, Claire Taylor, and I popped it in right here. You're welcome, Angela. See you at your sprints in a few. And Jessie, 632 words and rolling. Awesome. Inca, just realized I haven't set up my writing retreat sprints. Oops, doing that now. Good idea. We'll see you in the morning. Well, the morning for us here in the States. You're welcome, Laura. Thanks for hanging out with us. Rita, thank you for hosting. I tidy my space too. Now I can write for the rest of the day. Awesome. See you later, Rita. Thanks for hanging out. Jackie says, still over here, just working on my second Substack publication. This is the fun novel related one. Ooh, awesome. I can't wait to read that. And Inca says, thanks, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Jessie, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. And Gabriella, it feels so good being productive this morning. Doing Q2 late, but so happy it's getting done. You know, I didn't do my Q1 until late, so it happens, right? You're right where you need to be. All right, y'all, that's it for me. I will see you at Angela's after I read this comment from Nihalina. I got distracted singing on Jekyll and Hyde songs. That's funny. All right, y'all, thanks a lot for hanging out. I will see you next time, and I will see you in Angela's. I am back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So thanks for hanging out. See you soon. Happy